It's that day of the week again when we explore and appreciate green ideas and inventions. This is Going Green. This week, we're preempting President Aquino's State of the Nation address. Carolyn Howard takes us to the Eco Waste Coalition headquarters for the State of the Toys analysis. We're putting colorful and cute toys under the microscope to find out if they are actually safe for kids and for the environment. We have to tell you, the findings are quite surprising.
For kids, play is work, and the toys are the essential tools that help foster the child's development physically, emotionally, and mentally. According to the International Council of Toy Industries, in 2009 alone, the toy industry was worth over $80 billion. They are colorful to the eyes and fun, but a seemingly harmless toy causing cancer or damage the nervous system? How sure are you that the toys are actually safe for kids and the environment?
Most people have some suspicion based on news reports of big product recalls and studies of the Eco Waste Coalition, for example, of harmful substances. But in general, since the products are not labeled and you cannot physically tell the difference between one which contains a toxic metal and one which does not, it's very confusing and difficult for consumers.
Environmental group Eco Waste Coalition, together with International POPs Elimination Network or IPEN, recently held its own SOTA, or State of the Toys analysis. For the very first time in the country, a public investigation was conducted that put local and imported toys to the ultimate test. We caught up with IPEN scientist Dr. Joseph Deganji to learn more about this so-called SOTA.
So we examined 200 toys for the presence of 6 toxic metals, and we found that in about 30% of them contained at least one toxic metal. Some of them contained more than one. And then in about 70% of the products, they contained no toxic metals or very low amounts.
70% of toys non-toxic is a pretty good grade. It's important to note that all 200 toys were sourced from different toy shops, some of them locally produced while others imported. The toys also come in different shapes, colors, and sizes. And of course, each had a different price tag.
You're introducing the XRF analyzer. Just what is it and how does it work?
This is a device which looks like a hairdryer that sends an X-ray beam into the item you're testing. It works by sending a beam of radiation into the material you're testing and then looking for the fluorescence which results. And that is like a fingerprint for different elements, and then based on the amount, it can quantify the amount of them. And the machine can identify about 20 elements based on the fluorescence and also quantify how much of them are present. So the device is portable and it gives the results in about 30 seconds.
The XRF or X-ray fluorescence analyzer detects 20 different toxic metals but focuses primarily on 6 metals that are in the Philippines priority list. These elements are lead, cadmium, antimony, arsenic, chromium, and mercury. The level of these elements are measured in ppm or parts per million. U.S. environmental groups have identified safe levels of exposure to these elements. Of the 200 toys Eco Waste Coalition tested, the most common toxic metal found was lead, followed by antimony and cadmium. So what are the implications of these metals to human health? Overexposure to lead, which can be found in paint and vinyl plastic, can lead to brain damage, while antimony, arsenic, and chromium are known carcinogens. Dr. Joe tells us it's very important to stress that the toy industry needs to shape up and take responsibility for their products. For one, they should be made to disclose their chemical content to the regulatory authorities. He adds toy industries need to shift their production towards green design and alternatives.
The ability to look and analyze is important, but just as important is the technical responsibility of the companies that make them. Because parents should not have to worry about whether their toys contain some toxic substance.
The technology sounds very high-tech and complex. We just had to see for ourselves how it actually works.
Dr. Joe, obviously, colorful toys right here, very attractive to children. They'd probably touch any single item on this table, but just how dangerous can they be?
Well, why don't we have a look at a few of them and you can get an idea. So this is very simple. For example, we have this toy which is fake food. So we have a sort of fake plastic spaghetti with the sauce. You can put it down on the table. What I'm going to do is place the device over it, standing not too close. And then I'm pressing the button, and so we'll see it on this screen, and you can also see it on this screen. And as you can see, now the device is showing the elements as they appear on the screen. So PB stands for lead, and you can see that it has failed the lead standard for lead paint in the
Safe
US.
of which is 90.
90 parts per million, so this is more than double that limit. It's particularly disturbing because this is shaped like, it's supposed to imitate food, and so this is an invitation to put something that contains
That's right.
lead in your mouth. So that's a particular problem.
We checked out a couple of other toys and found this colorful book of alphabets and numbers. For the record, the toy was made in China and it came
from
out
everything else.
non-toxic. It has very low levels of lead, meaning it is safe for children's use. Dr. Joe revealed to us that of the 200 toys they tested, the toy that registered the largest quantity of toxic metals was actually made in the Philippines. This wooden wagon and blocks of letters may seem eco and child-friendly. It is, after all, made of wood. But upon testing it, we found it had very high levels of lead at over 11,400 parts per million versus the safe level at a mere 90 parts per million. Again, overexposure to lead can cause brain damage. After checking the kids' toys, I couldn't help but ask about toys for big girls, in this case, makeup.
Apart from the children's toys, adults have their own tools.
That's right.
In the day-to-day. Basically, we deal with makeup
Yes.
in our line of work.
Of course.
So I'm curious what these, how these will register on the analyzer.
Okay, well let's have a look. And this is this a pad or what is this
It
here?
is blush.
Blush, okay, let's have a look at the blush first. We've tested the bag to show the bag itself does not contain it. Okay, so I think you can be relaxed about using this blush. Well, wait a minute. Let's have a look at the final results. You see that lead is non-detect.
Okay.
However, if you have a close look, well, let's wait till the results finally come in because sometimes it changes.
To my horror, I found out that this blush on a number of us use regularly contains no lead, which is good. But it contains 2.2 parts per million of mercury. That's double the safe level of exposure to mercury for cosmetics. Well, there goes the blush. We then checked my concealer. Turns out my concealer is safe for use, with toxic metals still within their safe levels.
I'm learning the tricks of the trade now. Let's have a look at the
It's
concealer.
actually a branded concealer.
Okay. So I cannot move the machine so you can see the screen, but lead is non-detect. So far, mercury is not coming up. And the levels of the other items are, arsenic is quite low.
What is the role then of government agencies in monitoring these different products?
Agencies have an opportunity to monitor for the presence of these elements and to hold the industry accountable for their manufacturing process. They really have the role of being able to control the marketplace. However, the regulator also needs to have the budget and the regulatory authority to sort of obligate the industry to perform its duty.
Well, thank you for showing us just how to use the XRF analyzer.
Studies show that nearly 30% of the toy market is in Asia, and the toy market is bound to grow some more in the coming years. That is why it's never more urgent than now to learn about the hazards of these toys. We all know a health and environment in danger is no game.
So do you have the next great green idea? Do you have any out-of-this-world plans to save the planet? Let us know. Tell us what you're doing to help the environment. Send in your pictures and thoughts to ancgoinggreen@email or at gmail.com. Get a chance to be featured right here where we are going.